Hello there. I'm Brad Loomis, professional natural bodybuilder and master powerlifter. I'm a contest prep coach for powerlifters and cosmetic athletes with 3D Muscle Journey. I'm also sponsored by AST Sports Science and proud to represent their brand. However, that's not all that I am. I'm also a devoted family man, a CAT scan tech, and a devout Catholic. A life like mine is not at all glamorous, at least not as some would lead you to believe. Don't get me wrong, there are some high points, but it's mostly just a lot of hard work. And it's quite boring, especially for a guy like me, with below average genetics for bodybuilding and only putting up average to maybe above average numbers in powerlifting. However, that didn't really matter to me. I love my life as a family man, and I love my life as a coach. However, I really love to train. I don't train to compete. I compete on occasion because I love to train. And this is my grind. Hey 3DMJers, so today I'm going to talk a little bit more about coaching and life as a coach. You know, today is kind of one of those days where I think it'd be a good day to document this, because I think it's going to really reveal, you know, how serious we take this. So far this morning, we had a great team meeting. We have team meetings twice a month. And it was great to talk about everything. It was great meeting with the team, but the one drawback is that I'm a little bit behind now. You know, it's already almost 3 o'clock, which is about the time that I need to go get my son from school, and I haven't touched any of my coaching at all. So I'm going to include some clips from my coaching, but the reason I wanted to bring this up is that us as coaches, you know, we take this business pretty darn seriously, and so when we're behind like this, or we have a lot of work that we need to get done, it causes a fair amount of stress. Now, it's good stress, and it's stress in the way that, you know, essentially we want to get back to our clients with good coaching information as soon as possible. I mean, let's face it, in this business, I'm here working in my home. I could easily just say, it's my schedule, I can get to them when I want to, you know. I can just choose to get back to them or not. But the stress that I'm under is such that it's the kind of stress that I want to deliver a good product, and I want to do that in a very efficient manner to my athletes. So, you know, it's a good stress, but it's still stress nonetheless. And I know that sometimes I could do a better job of not letting that stress come out in my message to my athletes. And I think that I do a pretty good job, but again, you know, I still think that I could do better. But that's the kind of the focus today. I've got some training I'm going to do later on tonight. Obviously, you know, I've got the other things that go along with being in this business, you know, getting my meals in and whatnot. But I think today is a good day to talk and reveal a little bit about being Coach Brad. You know, there's a progression, you know, when it comes to this kind of thing. It's not like I can just give you some cues on your deadlift and then boom, the next week it's better, okay? And that's not realistic, you know, but what is realistic is that there's a general progression as far as tiny little bits of improvement, okay? So there's still a little bit of leakage there. The butt is still moving a little bit before the bar is, okay? So here's kind of your two cues when you're thinking about this, you know. Really kind of think to yourself, your hips should always move toward the bar, okay? So 2 ways to help with that is, number one, as you start your pull, really think not only are you pushing the ground away with your legs, okay, but you're also opening up your knees. So those 2 things right there a lot of times will help with any of that butt leakage, because never at any point do you want your butt moving away from the bar. You don't want to think butt is even moving up. Your butt and your hips are kind of like, imagine they're almost kind of like the fulcrum, and as you're pushing the floor away and opening up your hips, you know, using the abductor muscles, your hips are going toward the bar, okay? So maybe that will help a little bit, but it's better. And that's the most important thing, is that there is a progression from that first week. You know, at this point, I really feel like we can't screw this up. I really feel that way. As long as we don't get greedy, you know, and start thinking, well, we need to drop more weight, drop more weight, drop more weight, I think we just stay cool in the pocket. And I can tell you that I don't think we're going to see 158. I put that in your program here as kind of our goal weight. But visually looking at you, I think that would be a mistake to go for that goal that we originally thought. This is not the same dude prepping this year as the dude that was prepping 2 years ago. Why that is, I don't know. You know, maybe the off season that we worked together was really good. You made some great progress. Maybe you have gained that kind of muscle. Maybe it's just that we're not losing a bunch of muscle this time, you know. But whatever the case may be, I think it would be a mistake for us to shoot for 158. Okay. And so that being said, even with our current setup, you're dropping weight. You know, it's. I don't want to change it. I don't want to change it. I want to keep the 3 high days and the 4 low days. And yeah, I think that we just, if we do dig, it ain't now. We dig a little bit later, you know, 3-4 weeks down the road if we need to. But you look right now, you know, tons better than any of your shows that we did in your previous prep. And that's a very good place to be. We're not gonna micromanage here. We're not gonna just, you know, say that, you know what, the finer details say that we should be doing this. No, you don't have to do that. Remember that auto regulation is perfected in the gym. On paper, it's just kind of all blurry, okay? But it's perfected in the gym, and you stick to the plan in the gym. So now, where do we go from here? You've got 2 more training sessions in this microcycle. Do exactly what you're doing. So I get asked a lot about warm up and pre-start type mobility work. So I want to go over that real quickly. I'm going to try to keep it brief so that it's not too terrible boring. But a lot of my warm up involves a lot of movement prep. And so not so much, you know, mobility, but just movement and getting things moving for explosive work. Here, as I'm doing these kickbacks, I'm not necessarily swinging my leg back and forth, but what I'm focusing on is really driving my leg backwards. You can see I'm actually sliding back as I'm kicking that leg back. And then I just let my leg fall forward. But a lot of movement prep, getting ready to do the work that I'm going to do, doing the type of movements that I'm going to be doing. So copious bodyweight squats. Here, my you know, being an RKC, swings are a lot of my movement prep. And then usually some sort of stretching, opening, or myofascial release. I pretty much roll my IT bands, my hip flexors, every workout, whether it's a lower body workout, upper body workout, total body workout. I roll every single workout after a lot of my movement prep. And in addition to you know, doing my foam roller, I'll also just get my baseball out. Just get my baseball out and just smash the glutes, smash the glutes, smash the glutes. And this is something that I will not only do prior to my training, but then also during my training. There's my goblet squat. For those of you who have seen my spine series, exercising with weight training with spine disorders, I hold that goblet squat a lot. And then you can see today, lots of deadlifting was on order. And that's why I was doing so much movement prep prior to that. I reset after all of my deadlifts. Not that that's better, just kind of battling a little bit. And so to keep injury at bay, right now reps are pretty low. RPEs are pretty darn low. And resetting after all of my deadlift reps. And, you know, it I guess kind of makes sense if you think about it. I am doing powerlifting, it's 1 rep, so I should probably go ahead and make each deadlift feel like, you know, a single rep. And then also on the list today was bench training, heavy doubles. I can't remember exactly what this was, but I think it was roughly 250 to 260 pounds. I do pause after all of my reps on my chest, just like in powerlifting. So I'll come down, I pause, I press, and I do that for pretty much all my reps. I pause, I press, whether it's a single, double, you know, what have you. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, enjoy your training.